play went on. Now, they searched the belongings of everything and everybody that went on that private jet, and they found a few things, okay? So they did find a huge stash of weed, 70 pounds. Okay, and I really want to talk about that at first because I know y'all want to hear about the other drugs because I know some of y'all are yo, we don't kill nobody, but here's the thing. 70 pounds of weed. The street value of 70 pounds of weed is about $140,000. Let's call it $150,000. From what I've been told, I don't smoke, but apparently a pound of weed costs about like $2,000. Okay, so I'm doing rough math here. Pound of weed, $2,000. And I'm talking about retail that you can sell it on the street, okay? Not wholesale, you buying it. So you could get $2,000 if you break down and sell a pound of weed. If it's 70 pounds, that's like $140,000. But again, it's not $2,000 everywhere, so I'm gonna just call it $150,000. $150,000 in street value for what the fuck Juice WRLD had on the plane. Okay? Now, I get that Juice WRLD is supremely rich. And of course, he did smoke. But what I'm saying here is I'm starting to look at the motherfuckers around him who may have been using him as a fucking celebrity drug mule. You're bringing 70 pounds of weed on a private jet. It's probably not for personal consumption. You're probably bringing that to the streets of Chicago to bust it down and really come up on some bread. Does he need to do that? No, he's making a lot of money off music. Why would he do that? However, if you around him, you trying to get your hustle on, that's a very convenient way to smuggle shit from place to place. Private jet, ain't nobody checking you. You could get a lot of things off. So instantly, when I see 70 pounds of weed, y'all see that, right? Like they're in the suitcases. It already raises a red flag. It tells me that some of the motherfuckers around him who may have been, or their plan was to take this weed and go bust it down and whatever and, get it sold retail on the street, maybe their best interest wasn't Juice WRLD because they already got their other ulterior motives of what they wanted to do. Number 2, they did find lean on the plane. They found codeine, okay? And if you guys remember last year, he basically said he stopped doing all that shit and he was going to cut it down, but I don't know if it's a relapse. He talked about addiction being very real and told kids that, don't get into this type of shit. And I don't know whether it's because he naturally just relapsed or he was abusing the whole time, maybe just sending mixed messages publicly, but it appeared there was some codeine there. Also, we don't even know if that was for him. Remember, other people were on the plane with him, okay? And also, there was a bunch of pills that the people, because they interviewed the whole crew, everybody that was on the plane with him, and they're saying that he popped several pills prior to suffering those seizures, okay? Now, those pills, we don't know what it is. Apparently, he had a Percocet problem, but we don't know if there were Xannies or Percs or some other shit. We don't know if it was cut with fentanyl. We'll figure that shit out later. But what we do also have to note, there was 3 handguns that were actually found on the plane. Again, he's going back to Chicago. I don't want to intimate anything, but he had 3 handguns on the plane. The dudes that was with him, they got locked up for possession of the handguns, and they did bail out. So, while saying this, I just want us to wait for information to come out. And while we could have some real beneficial discussions, we can't just convict him of being a junkie that just died off some shit. We don't know exactly what happened yet, but we're finding out more details. I'm trying to cover it in a way that's respectful to him and his family, and also respectful to the facts. Because you never know what the facts of this situation is until we actually have the toxicology report. And trust me, we're not taking no outs and we're not taking no we're not like, oh, let's protect him and his legacy. Because regardless of how this goes, it might be a lesson for future generations. And you can't then protect anyone from the truth when that could possibly save someone else's lives. Again, we're still mourning. And that's the most important part of allowing the facts to come out. Don't jump to conclusions that are off your own personal biases or because you don't like the music he make or you don't like younger rappers. Relax with some of the personal attacks or some of the things that you're assuming until we find it out as a fact, okay? But right now, they found 70 pounds of weed, codeine, found some guns, all on this private jet. We'll figure out exactly why and how Juice WRLD passed away. Okay, we'll find out soon. Okay, stay here. Make sure you keep it locked. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell in the upper right corner that you could be alerted every time I put up a video. Of course, you know it's your boy Jacademics.